All right, we are on day 6 of our wellness tips, and today's tip is specific to a Bible health tip that can literally save our lives. It's been proven, and do you know what that one biblical health tip, in fact, some people say it's a biblical rule, do you know what that one tip is? Let me know in the comments if you know what the biblical health tip that can help save lives, particularly here in the United States, when we are go, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. We are constantly working, being inundated, having our phones on us, right? Well, that one biblical health tip is to work 6 and rest 1, right? To work 6 and rest 1. There's a saying that we have in our family, and I can't think of but we work 6 for 6 or something like that. We rest for success. Yep, we rest for success. That is true. Here in the United States, we have such high incidence of stress and lifestyle related diseases, heart disease, stroke, nervous breakdowns, anxiety, depression, all of that. And so much of the world, it has to do with overworking, right? And I would add over worrying. This has become a huge problem in our society. Yesterday I was with a teenager and she was sharing with me what she used to get for her parents for Christmas. And she always used to get fishing poles. And I said, cool, why don't you do that this year? She said, well, now we don't have any time to go fishing anymore. And they live right next to a pond. And I said, why? And they said, because my parents are working all the time, and they're working sometimes 12-hour shifts, and they work there, and they're just tired, and we don't have time to do that. And I thought, wow, that is so sad, because, and I love her parents are great, but the fact is that work can just overtake our lives, whether you're working outside of the home or you're working inside of the home, right? Whether you're a homeschool parent or a parent who has kids in school, whether you're a single person or not, we have so much on our plates these days that it's seriously killing us. Lifestyle stress, there's no reason people in such a modern society should be so sick, and that so many people's immune systems should be compromised right now, right? And stress has so much to do with it. So the biblical health rule, number one biblical health tip that we want to share is that we talk about it, God talks about it, and let me tell you exactly what he says. 1 second here. He says, on the 7th day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So the 7th day, he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the 7th day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating what he had done. It's Genesis 2:2-3. So why did God rest? Does God need rest? God doesn't need rest, right? He can do all things, right? But he rested on a day, and he made a day holy. A lot of people feel that taking a day of rest it can be legalistic, right? Depending on what religion you are and things like that. Like, I need to rest, or I need to go to church. I need to make this day holy. It can be very legalistic, but God made a day of rest for you and for me, right? He made it for us. So what does that look like? And you know what? I'm going to let you figure out how you are going to do that, but I want to share with you that some stories of some people who started taking a day of rest. And it wasn't always on Sunday or Saturday, right? It wasn't always on that kind of day, but they specifically took a day of rest. Okay, so let me tell you about a realtor who was really, really struggling in her real estate. She'd gone like almost a year and a half, really wasn't closing. She was broke. She was going through her savings. She was stressed out, and she was working 60 plus hours a week, right? Not making any money, working 60 plus hours a week. And she took this one principle that she learned, and she started taking a day of rest. one day where she would not do real estate. And guess what? It was actually on one of her busiest days. In the beginning, she took Saturdays off, right? Everybody looks at houses on Saturdays, and she took Saturdays off. Now, she works Sundays, but she took Saturdays completely off. She was with her family. She didn't do the dishes. They ordered takeout, all of that. She did this. And do you know that next year, she was one of the top performers in her real estate area? Top performers, $1 million, millions of dollars performers, because she started resting. She started getting her priorities right. You know, God gave her that day to just really feed herself and just be with her loved ones. I'm going to tell you another story of a mom of 5. She's a very, very successful businesswoman. But she was go, 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 go. Her and her husband worked together, and on that one day that they thought they were resting, they were cleaning the house, they were getting ready for the week, they were doing all these things. They were going to these kids' soccer games, this game, you know, it was so stressful on the family until she set this line in the sand that said, on this day, we're not doing any soccer practices. We're not going to a game. They even started doing church at home, because of course everything's streamed live. We can do that now too. And do you know that her one of her childs who was having anxiety problems, was really having a lot of issues in school and all that child totally turned around. Although that mom can physically work 7 days a week, she's made for that. But God said, hey, take a day of rest. So she did, and everything changed in her marriage, in her family, in her children, right? In her children. So aren't those amazing stories? So I challenge you to take a day of rest. Take a day of rest. And don't get legalistic with it. Does it have to be Sunday? Some of you, I know you're really involved in your churches, and that's great. But if you have to do something and it feels stressful to you, like I have to be there at a certain time, I have to do this, I'm not with my family, I'm not, that feels stressful, then that's not rest. But if you go and you sing in the choir or, something like that, and that feeds you and you feel restful and you feel like that's, a good thing for you, maybe that is rest. Maybe you like to go hiking. Maybe you like to spend the day in bed. Maybe you like to order takeout. Maybe you like to cook, because all the other days you're working and you really can't cook and it's all processed food, but that day you just love to cook and meal prep, and it feeds you and it refreshes you, right? It refreshes you. Okay. Remember the Sabbath day, keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all work, but the 7th day is a Sabbath day to the Lord your God. On it shall you not do any work, neither you, nor son, nor daughter, nor male servant, female servant, nor animals, nor foreigners residing in your towns. And I will tell you that I have one child that she really looks forward to we call it Shabbat. And it's a day where she doesn't have to do chores. She gets to do some of the fun things that she loves to do. She really looks forward to it, especially when you're homeschooling and it's work and stuff like that. Kids who go to school every day, it's maybe part of their mentality, but homeschoolers, we're doing a lot, and they're doing a lot of the things around the house and things like that. At least in my house, I'll say that. So that really is a good thing for her. She just loves that, and they look forward to that. And it's also our family time too. It's like we do that. But you know what? Our dad likes to just go and be by himself and do his little thing and research or, whatever that, and they are okay with that because that's dad's downtime. He works really, really hard, 5 days a week, very hard. And he likes to have that downtime. And about mid-afternoon or so, he comes out. He's more refreshed. Me and him might go on a date. We might do some family things together, but it's just a great thing. Now, I've talked too long, but the point of that I would challenge you, especially those of you who are spending a lot of time worrying right now, or you just feel like when you leave work, you can't shut down. That there's so many good biblical statements about, resting God and so many. So even if you just don't even think about, taking a day off is just too much for me. What can you do every day? Can you take 10 minutes and just rest in Christ? Can you meditate to Him? Can you look for those scriptures that might feed you? I'm a Christian and this is my belief, but what is yours? How can you incorporate that? And I will tell you that really diving into that and just meditating with Christ and looking at all these scriptures he talks about rest, I just feel the weight of the world come off my shoulders. It's so awesome. It is so awesome. So your next step, what I challenge you to do is look at your life and say, what's one area, one little step that's not going to stress me out, that's going to help me take that rest time, to really take some downtime. And a lot of you busy people and busy moms and individuals who have a lot on your plate, I would challenge you to do this daily, if you can. All right. I love you. Bless you. Have a great, great week. We'll see you tomorrow on our next wellness tip, and take some rest. Bye.